welcome to the creative community. I'm your host, David Starkey, and my guest this time is Elizabeth Leister. Welcome.
Thank you.
Well, you are a visual artist who has done all sorts of things, and we're going to look at kind of the range of your work, the body of your work, as it were, because you're really interested in the body. That's one of your preoccupations.
Yes.
I want to come to that in three kind of major phases of work, Elizabeth. But first, I always like to ask people how they got started in their chosen endeavor. Were you a young artist, budding artist, when you were little?
Yes, absolutely. My two sisters and I were highly encouraged by our parents to pursue the arts, and I think I remember from very early age wanting to be an artist, either a dancer or an artist. And so, yeah.
Well, you were telling me your father was an engineer, but he and your mother sent all three of their daughters to art school.
Yes, yes.
That's wild.
Highly unusual.
Yeah.
Yes, we all three of us actually pursued painting, my two sisters are moms now, but they are very creative individuals, and yes, we were all.
Well, do you remember a moment when you decided, I'm not going to be a dancer, I'm going to be a visual artist instead? Was it a process?
I don't really. I painted and drew all through high school. My sisters and I would go every weekend to take figure drawing classes, and I think I did a summer at Rhode Island School of Design where I did more painting and drawing, and I think photography, printmaking. So it slowly just became apparent that it was going to be visual arts.
Now, when did you find that you were thinking of yourself as a serious artist? Was it in graduate school as an undergraduate, or after that?
Probably in undergraduate school. I went to Tyler School of Art, and the program that I was in, the peers, the students that I was with were very competitive. In a good way, and it was tough. Everybody worked very hard, and it was there was a great energy there. And I went to graduate school 10 years after that, and changed it up and got my MFA in sculpture. In that interim, I started making work with found objects, and a lot of work with fabric and actually clothing. And
we'll see some of that, I think. Actually.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Well, that's a kind of a good entree for me to ask you about the first phase. We're going to talk about the body and representations, particularly as it applies to women. Maybe let's go into the first piece that we have, and we can kind of use that as a jumping off point. Talk to me a little bit about what it is that we are about to see.
This was a wedding dress that I created out of plastic sheeting, just plastic that you would buy in the hardware store, and it was hand sewn and sewn on a sewing machine. And I think the body of the dress is about 12 or 15 feet long, and then there's a train.
It's enormous.
Yeah, it's
plastic,
huge.
Yeah.
It's huge. So I was interested in questioning some of society's expectations about how women should look, how they should act, what they should do. And that was one of the pieces from, I think, early 90s.
Let's take a look at the next one that we have.
I think this set of images is from a site-specific installation that I did in Center City, Philadelphia. And it was called Delusions, a tongue-in-cheek boutique. So it looked like a regular boutique when you were walking down the street, but when you stepped inside, all of the fixtures and the clothing, the products were tweaked to critique, again, this idea specifically about clothing and beauty products.
So you're just walking in off the street of Philadelphia into this store, but it's actually a gallery, an installation.
An installation, yeah. So those are some pantyhose that are stretched from floor to ceiling, and I had images from some fashion magazines of that time that I blew up that really They are not manipulated at all. That really show the sort of scary expectations.
Yeah, well, that's what I was about to say. Is you seem to be exaggerating these conventional images, but in fact, you're just reproducing them here.
Right, right. So this was a great experience for me as an artist because there were so many people who wandered in off of the street and didn't really have any expectations like you do when you go into a gallery or museum, and really understood what I was trying to communicate, and that was really rewarding.
Now, were you there a lot of the time, just kind of hanging out?
I was.
Yeah.
I had rented the space myself, so I had to be there to open and close and monitor it. So, yeah, it was a great experience.
Yeah. So you're in back east Philadelphia, and then you're going to get out here to California 5 years ago, but I think we still have some more work that you're doing.
Yes.
Talk me through the next bit of pieces. We've got sculpture and photography, I think.
I think the next several slides are some photographs and some cast latex pieces that I created when I was at graduate school at Bard College, and I guess also a little bit after that. So my focus on the body, the sort of the exterior, the representation of the body, shifted to the interior of the body, and I was really interested in this idea of the body in a constant state of transformation. We're constantly aging, and the body is just always changing. And also this idea that we all have a body, but it's so mysterious to us. You really don't have a whole lot of knowledge about what's happening inside of us, or a lot of control over what's happening with the body ultimately. So again, this also sort of marks a shift in my work from sculpture to photography, and ultimately leads to video.
The video work that you're going to show us later on. Well, this is not the first time I've talked to a sculptor who's been working in non-traditional materials like latex. What are some of the advantages and disadvantages of working in that as opposed to bronze or wood or something?
The latex was really interesting to me because I could color it, and I could color it so it had that flesh tone and really mimic sort of a skin quality and the flexibility of it.
What about its durability? Is that something that's going to stick around for a while, or does that matter to you?
In fact, a lot of those sculptures have started to decay and dry up and transform themselves, which is interesting.
It's an interesting
because
process in itself. Yeah.
Right. It mimics the concepts behind the work, actually.
Right. So you've gone from representations of the external body to the interior. You're talking about psychological processes as well as, just the inside of the body. Talk me through to the next thing, which is, I think, a couple of video stills, and then we have a little bit of a movie.
Right. I think these are stills from a video called Symbiote.